Mr. Bucket.
Welcome to Book It Wrestling Podcast for the fans, by the fans, where we book, rebook, and revisit your favorite wrestling storylines. I'm your Commissioner Lil X Fudge, and today we're here with your GMs. First, Damone D Money.
Bucket.
Let's go!
The Bad Guy King.
Oh, yeah. He just fell down one of his chairs.
High Five Mike.
Party on, Garth.
I am Travie T.
What's up, everybody?
And the return of M. Joe F.
I thought someone's chair broke. What the fuck is that noise?
It's Kenny picking up his microphone.
Damone just had a little
I like
gas. We all know he ain't got no fiber in his diet.
What?
Just John telling a bad joke. Continue.
John, you got to stop with these medical jokes, bro. You got to get more creative.
No,
This is why your score is a 62.
Bro, don't eat no fiber.
That's so random. How do you know he doesn't need fiber?
Yeah. You checking my poops?
Yeah, them shit's like bricks in the toilet. Shit crack.
What? All right, can we
This is
me or post-it?
This is a John show. We're not doing poop jokes here. We're classy at TCW.
Yeah, TCW,
totally
the
classy
highbrow
wrestling.
show.
Yeah.
Anyways, TCW is continuing from last week. D-Money, can you want to give a recap of last week about your show?
Well, so it's Freaky Friday, so it's fan voting on like match types, opponents, those sorts of things. Last week, Toni Storm lost her match to the House of Cards to Diamante, so she's out of TCW. Kenny Omega retained the Ultimate Championship, but then got attacked from behind by the model, Rick Martel. And then Mortis defeated PCO in a Buried Alive match.
Hell yeah, brother.
That was racist.
Say you can't be saying that.
Want to tell us where we're going now?
Yeah, so we're at night 2, or not night 2, just part 2. So this is all one night in reality, but you're getting it in 2 parts. So I'll start us off. So similar to how David Arquette, who's the general manager, announced that there were 4 matches to determine who would be on the ballot to face Kenny Omega. There will be 4 matches to determine who faces Razors and Apples, which is Razor Ramon and Carlito, for the TCW Tag Titles. The matchups are Way of the Dragon, which is Bryan Danielson and Ultimo Dragon, versus and these are the matchups. So Way of the Dragon versus Dirty Money, which is Val Venus and Joey Ryan. Ono S.A. is S.A. Rios and Cassius Ono versus Old School, who is Lou Thesz and Harley Race. And then there's Super Villain Industries, which is Evo Uno and Marty Scurll versus the Von Erichs, David and Kerry Von Erich. And then last but not least, it's the Oval Office, which is Teddy Roosevelt and Abraham Lincoln. He's not a vampire hunter on this one. Versus Deuce and Domino.
You could take the Vampire Hunter out of TCW, but you can't take the Vampire out of TCW. TCW
I
out of Vampire.
Run me that
man.
Which tag team?
The Cassius Ono one. What was that?
Ono S.A., which is S.A. Rios and Cassius Ono.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Mostly because you saw the poll, you voted.
That was 2.5 years ago, Damone. I don't remember.
That is true.
Yeah,
anyway.
He's reformed. He's got more woke to racism since then. He doesn't find that funny anymore.
So on that week's episode of Sin, the brand, which is Razor, Carlito, Pat McAfee, and the TCW World Champion Wardlow come out. Pat has the mic. I want to take a moment to congratulate us, the brand, the most dominant force in TCW history. In this ring, we have the World Tag Team Champions and the new TCW World Heavyweight Champion, Wardlow. Like we said when we came together, we are going to fix TCW, a true professional wrestling company, instead of the dumpster fire garbage, unprofessional mess that TCW was before us. No longer will TCW stand for "they can't wrestle." And at Death Sentence, we took another step of ridding this company of that past. We beat that past's prime, washed, broken, over the hill has been Terry Funk, when Wardlow powerbombed him over and over and over to snatch the TCW World title. So now that we've sent Chainsaw Charlie out to the retirement home where he should have been years ago, the mission to fix TCW continues. The brand will eradicate the cancers from this company and make TCW great again. And the TCW, the Toxiverse booze. No more outlaw mud show bullshit. So it doesn't matter who Wardlow or Razor and Apples face at Freaky Friday. The result will always be the same. The brand is forever. He then hands the mic to Razor. Ayo. Survey says, and then Carlito says, the brand. Now that's cool. As all four men stand tall, holding the titles over their head to end the segment. So the next week, the first match in the tag series is Way of the Dragon versus Dirty Money. The Way of the Dragon was formed in season 2 of TCW when Bryan Danielson made the save, and he was the save on Ultimo when he was being attacked by Dirty Money when Ultimo defeated Joey Ryan. We have an intense rivalry over the following months escalating from proving who's the better team to personal when Val Venus attempted to seduce Bryan's wife, Brie Bella, which ultimately failed. The feud culminated in a tag team Hell in a Cell match at TCW Revenge, and the Way of the Dragon came out on top. Bryan and Ultimo share mutual respect for the history of professional wrestling, especially in Japan, at one point moving there and learning from the founder of All Japan, Giant Baba. Returning to TCW a few weeks ago, they made it very clear that their main focus is winning tag team gold. Dirty Money formed when at a strip club called the Honey Pot. Joey Ryan and Val realized they had a lot in common, so decided to align and they formed Dirty Money. When they come out, Val Venus does like the hello ladies and the towel thing, the towel spin, and then Joey Ryan crawls between his legs and poses as Val Venus flexes. Before the match can start, Val stops the referee and gets a mic. Before we kick your asses and send you and Dragon Boy back to Japan, I just need to ask you one little favor. Tell Brie I said hello. This causes Ultimo to hold Bryan back for the match to start. It starts with Ultimo, and the match starts with Ultimo and Val. The heels get the upper hand with Val irates Ultimo and makes frequent tags to keep Bryan out of the match. Ultimo manages to counter a suplex attempt by Joey and hits an Acai DDT, and then tags in Danielson, who comes out taking out both Joey Ryan and Val Venus. Way of the Dragon has the momentum as Bryan hits the roundhouse kicks to Val. Bryan hits the running knee, because I can't say the word, on Val as Ultimo Dragon takes out Joey with an Acai moonsault on the outside. Danielson forces Val to tap to the LaBelle lock. The Way of the Dragon have secured their spot on the Freaky Friday ballot. After the match, Razor and Carlito attempt to attack both men, but Danielson will manage to get the upper hand, and Danielson has Carlito lined up for the running knee, but Razor manages to grab him and pull Carlito out of the ring in time. Danielson says, does the this close symbol as the champ stumble to the back. The next week, it's Ono Esse versus Old School. So Cassius Ono and Esse Rios versus Luthez and Harley Race. Old School is interviewed backstage by Shannon Sharp. Harley says, "Listen here, you punks. Tonight, Old School is going to ground Esse Rios, snatch him from the sky, and beat the fat lard out of that fat ass Cassius Ono." Luno says, we're going to stretch them and show these youngsters what real wrestling is. This is not the wrestling I helped invent. And it's kids like you who think doing a bunch of backflips makes you a good wrestler. Newsflash, it doesn't. In a very competitive match, it's a very competitive match going back and forth. Old School is managing to slow the pace down and keep Rios grounded and exhaust Cassius' gas tank. The finish comes when Harley hits the Fisherman Suplex, which is his finisher, 1-2, but then Esse hits a moonsault to break up the pin. Lou tries to grab him and lock in a bear hug, but Rios manages to escape and hit a tornado DDT, taking Lou out. When he turns around, he gets headbutted by Harley, taking him out of the equation, but this gives Cassius enough time to recover as he hits Race with the KO discus rolling elbow. He tags in Rios, who hits a moonsault and gets the pin in the win. As they're celebrating, though, Old School attacks them from behind. They throw Ono out of the ring and focus on Rios. But then Razor and Apples come out and look like they're going to stop the attack, but they actually join in as the heels beat up Cassius Ono and Rios. They then hit an apple a day, which is a Razor's Edge into a backstabber on Ono, and then they grab a steel chair and Luthez and Harley Race hit a spike pile driver onto the chair on Rios. Medics rush to the ring to check on him, and he leaves on a stretcher. Later in the night, Old School is being interviewed again. Tonight, we might have lost the battle, but we sure as hell won the war, Harley says. Lou says, and let it be a lesson to any of you snot-nosed punks who cross paths with Old School. You won't walk out the same way you walked in. The next week, it's Supervillain Industries versus the Von Erichs. Kerry is a dynamic powerhouse with Hollywood good looks, who is a former #1 contender for the world title. He is paired with his younger brother, David, who is trying to live up to his older brother and his family legacy. Supervillain Industries started in Season 2, when Evil Uno declared that he had found True Evil, a mysterious character who directed Evil Uno's path, along with controlling Joe Gacy and Test to make a path for his arrival. It was later revealed to be the villain Marty Scurll. Supervillain Industries would attempt to assist Marty to defeat Kenny Omega for the Ultimate Championship, but they were ultimately unsuccessful. The match starts with Kerry able to use his size and strength to get the upper hand. However, the tide turns when Marty distracts the ref, while Evil Uno low blows Kerry. It then leans heavily in favor of the heels as they manage to block David from reaching Kerry, cutting off the ring successfully. Kerry eventually gets the tag after David manages to hit a jawbreaker on Evil Uno. Kerry comes in firing and clears the ring. It becomes a back and forth affair with neither team keeping the momentum for long. Kerry has Marty and he lines him up for a tornado punch, which is like a discus punch. But Marty pulls the ref in front of him at the last second, causing him to knock out the ref. Marty then low blows Kerry and has Tess hand him his loaded umbrella, and he lays Kerry out with it. He then hits the Black Plague, which is a swinging double underhook suplex, as Evil Uno wakes up the referee. 1, 2, 3. As David tries to make the save, but can't due to Joe Gacy holding his leg on the outside. Supervillain Industries wins, and they will also be on the ballot for Freaky Friday. We see Razor and Apples giving them a round of applause as they're in the skybox. Last but not least is the Oval, or the on the Go Home show. Last but not least is the Oval Office versus Deuce and Domino. Deuce and Domino are former WWE Tag Team Champions who arrived in TCW at the start of Season 2. They've been a top tag team in the company since, even coming within a millisecond of defeating Cowboy Shit for the Tag Team Championship. Their opponents are the Oval Office, made up of former presidents Abe the Liberator Lincoln and Teddy the Bear Roosevelt. They came into TCW at the start of Season 3. Teddy is 5'10", 220 pounds of muscle and grit, while Lincoln is a lean 6'4", 185 pounds. Using their amateur wrestling and boxing backgrounds, they have made a formidable team. They don't start fights, but they're more than happy to finish them. The match between the two starts with Deuce and Teddy locking up, and Teddy using his wrestling to transition to a double leg takedown and make several close pin attempts. Deuce manages to scoot away and tag in Domino. The Oval Office has the upper hand for a while until Domino manages to counter an Irish whip, send Lincoln into the corner hard, then tag in Deuce. Deuce and Domino have the advantage for a while, working on the long limbs of Lincoln, trying to wear the big man down. Lincoln manages to work his way out of the Boston Crab attempt, kick Domino away, and tag in Teddy, who comes in and hits a belly-to-belly suplex on Domino, sending him flying across the room. Then a boxing combination on Deuce, dropping him to his knees and then heading a running knee to the face. 1, 2, but then Domino pulls him out of the ring. The two exchange punches, but Teddy gets the advantage, then gets the advantage, then gets taken out, and then Domino gets taken out by a John Wilkes boot by Abraham Lincoln. Teddy slides back into the ring, but eats a super kick from Deuce, then a happy days kick, which is a shining wizard. 1, 2, Teddy kicks out. Deuce waits for him to get to his feet and lands 3 hard rights, and then goes for a haymaker, but Teddy ducks under and hits a back suplex. He lowers his straps. He's wearing a blue singlet, and then he waits for Deuce to get up. When he does, he grabs him and he locks in a bear hug. Domino tries to make the save, but he gets chokeslammed by Lincoln. Deuce is getting ragdolled, and he taps out. The Oval Office has won. Immediately after, though, Razor and Carlito come to the ring and down the ramp and get in the ring, and the two teams begin the brawl. Then Supervillain Industries and the Way of the Dragon also come out, and all 4 teams are in the ring brawling. In the ruckus, Teddy manages to grab his signature Billy Club, and he uses it to clear the ring, except for Evil Uno, who gets hit with the executive order, which is the Grand Amplitude. Teddy gets a mic. Ladies and gentlemen, we humbly ask for your vote so that Freaky Friday we can show razors and apples what it really means to speak softly and carry a big stick. When we, the Oval Office, become your new TCW Tag Team Champions. And then throws down the mic. Later, Razor and Carlito, who are nursing their wounds, are stopped backstage by Goldilocks. Do you guys have any thoughts on who you'd like to face at Freaky Friday after what happened earlier? Razor says, Carlito says, tonight we are just coming out to congratulate the Oval Office, and they attack us. And then we get jumped by the other 2 teams. That's not cool. Listen, Chica, it doesn't matter which of these bums gets chosen. It could be the Dragon Boys, the fat man in his essay, if he can even walk. It could be Dr. Evo and the other fat man, or it could be the Oral Office. It doesn't matter to us, Chica. No matter who it is, we walk in as champs and we walk out as champs. Now beat it. So the match itself, it's announced, or to the pay-per-view itself, it's announced online that Ono SA has been forced out of the tournament or out of the bracket due to SA having sustained a broken neck from the attack by Old School. Razor and Apples come out first, and they wait to see who the fans have voted for. And with 75% of the vote, the winners are the Oval Office. So Teddy and Abraham Lincoln come out. So the match starts with Teddy and Carlito locking up. Teddy is the stronger man, and he manages to shove Carlito across the ring. Carlito is shot, gets up, and they lock up again. But again, Teddy pushes them off. Carlito runs at him again, but this time he gets taken down with a hip toss. He then scurries away over to his corner and tags in Razor, who points to Lincoln because he wants the big man on that side. Lincoln and Razor lock up, and it's a stalemate. But Razor knees him in the gut. Then Irish whips him in the corner and hits him with elbows to the side of the head. Razor hits an atomic drop, then locks in the abdominal stretch while digging his elbows into Lincoln's ribs. Lincoln manages to fight out of it. Irish whip Razor and hits a standing drop kick. Lincoln hits a brain buster on Razor for a 2 count. Then a running leg drop for another 2 count. He then locks in the Lincoln log, which is an Indian death lock. Carlito manages to break up the attempt. Razor gets the advantage again with an eye poke. He goes to the middle rope, and then he hits a diving bulldog. He goes for the pin on Lincoln, but he kicks out. Carlito hits a springboard drop kick on Lincoln, followed by a snap swinging neck breaker. Lincoln kicks out at 2. Carlito tries to lock in a figure 4, but Lincoln fights him off and hits a belly to belly. He then tags in Teddy. Teddy hits the triple German suplexes on Razor, who got tagged in. He then hits a springboard Canadian destroyer. 1, 2. Carlito breaks up the pin. All 4 men are in the ring and brawling. The Oval Office gets the upper hand and clotheslines their opponent out of the ring. Lincoln and Roosevelt run and they hit studio suicide dives. The heels get the advantage when Carlito chop blocks Teddy from behind on the outside as he's trying to get in the ring. Razor takes advantage and hits a backbreaker on Carlito, or hits a backbreaker as Carlito hits a diving elbow, immediately folding Teddy in half. Carlito has Teddy in the corner and landing punches and a back elbow. He then goes for the monkey flip, but Teddy manages to land on his feet to Carlito's surprise. And then Teddy hits a Pele kick, leaving both men on the ground as they drag themselves to their respective corners. Lincoln and Razor both get in the ring and start throwing haymakers with the crowd chanting "Yay" when Lincoln lands a punch, and then "Boo" when Razor lands a punch. Lincoln uses the fan support to get the momentum and back Razor into the corner and land shotgun chops. He then puts him on the top rope and he hits a superplex and then the Falcon Arrow for a long 2 count. Lincoln waits for Razor to get to his feet and he hits the John Wilkes boot. 1, 2, but then he manages to kick out. Teddy flies out of nowhere and hits a standing moonsault onto Carlito. All 4 men are down as the fans chant, "This is awesome." Razor and Lincoln are the legal man and get back to their feet. Lincoln goes for another John Wilkes boot, but Razor moves out of the way and then hits a running leg drop. He then picks up Lincoln and hits a fall away slam. He tags in Carlito, who hits a springboard senton bomb. 1, 2. Teddy breaks up the count. Razor gets in the ring and tries to throw Teddy out, but he counters and sends Razor out instead. He then climbs to the top turnbuckle and hits a flying crossbody to the outside. Carlito stalks Lincoln as he gets to his feet for the backstabber, but Lincoln grabs the rope and Carlito just falls backward. Lincoln picks him up by the throat and he chokeslams him. 1, 2. Carlito gets his foot on the bottom rope. Lincoln drags Carlito to his corner and he tags in Roosevelt. They hit the executive order, which is the grand amplitude. 1-2, but this time Razor barely breaks up the count. Teddy is lining up Carlito for the bear hug, and he locks it in. Razor, though, grabs a chair from the outside and slides it in the ring. This causes the ref to get distracted as he's yelling at Razor to get the chair out of there. He's going to get disqualified. And while this is happening, Carlito does tap out, but the referee and Teddy don't see it because their backs are turned. Teddy lets go and raises his arm, thinking they won the titles. When he turns around, he realizes what happened, that the ref doesn't see it. Razor distracts the referee some more as Carlito from behind low blows Teddy. Lincoln gets in the ring, but gets taken out by Razor with a stun gun. He lifts him up and then puts his throat into the ropes. Razor and Carlito throw Lincoln out of the ring, and they hit the apple a day, which is the Razor's Edge, into a backstabber on Teddy. 1, 2, 3. Your winners and still TCW Tag Team Champions, representing the brand Razors and Apples. They make their way up the ramp, holding the titles, knowing they barely escaped with the win. That's match.
I got a question.
Yes.
Are you clicking the down arrow every single time you finish a sentence?
No, not every time. As I was just as I'm scrolling down, I was.
Can you use the mouse like a normal person?
Yes.
Okay. That is loud as fuck. I thought John was over there grading papers. I yelled at him.
Oh,
I almost got a whooping because of you.
Good, he deserves it.
Of course, they always
No
blame me
reason.
around here.
Well, you're the only one that wasn't.
John
muted,
would be impressed so
we
bad.
assumed it was you.
Yeah, I assumed it was John because he was the only one not
Just when
muted.
I don't have enough reasons to hate Damone, I get blamed for his bullshit.
I do have a question about the match though.
Yes.
That apple a day, is that the same finish that they had in the match earlier, or did they just hit it earlier?
They had it. They hit it in the first, when they attacked. Who did they attack? They hit it when they attacked someone.
Okay, so it wasn't like a finisher to one of the matches.
It is their finisher, but it's not the.
Right.
It was in the finish too. They didn't have a match in this part.
They just hit him with the move.
Okay, I just wanted to make
hit
sure.
him with the move,
Okay.
yeah.
So I thought the match itself was pretty good. The story was here and there for me. I didn't really super pop for it, but I didn't hate it either. I'm just gonna go with a 3 on it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I agree with him 100%. That's where I'm at. I thought the match was good. Story was I'm at a solid 3.
Okay.
Yeah, match was good. Story I felt needed, I don't know, something, but
Little pizzazz.
yeah,
Little
some
some hurrah.
some chutzpah.
Some double
Did you just call me?
The old razzle dazzle.
The old one too. I think it was pretty mid. I'm gonna go with a 2.75.
Yeah, take
You
it.
know what? I agree with I think that story was a little long in the tooth, as some may say.
You of all people, and it wasn't really that long.
No, don't say you of all people. We're 29 minutes into this fucking podcast. My first my first match be done at 20 minutes. My shit's pretty good. It's about 20 minutes a match. It's pretty. Go ahead. What?
I'm gonna catch next time you have your show. I'm gonna make sure I pay attention because it's the second week in a row you claim that.
Well,
and I
now
don't
he's going to
believe
delay
you.
the show 5 weeks to time himself getting at just 28 minutes.
Ding 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 ding.
I think
No, he
last
won't.
week his first match was 40 minutes.
It was
Mine?
No,
Damone's.
It was the Tony story, and that was way longer.
It
than
was
this one.
fire though.
Yeah,
I agree.
it started out
Yeah,
fire.
I
and by
agree
the end, it
that
was smoldering.
Sure, I'm not going to go back and rehash that, but I agree with what Mike said 100% down to the score 2.75.
I agree precisely with the comment about lacking the razzle dazzle and stuff like that. I thought this needed to be wackier. I wish that this had felt a bit more like the Tony Storm storyline. I needed more ha-has and goofs, and it was just kind of like standard.
This man goofs.
So I'm gonna give it the 3 that the others gave it.
Okay,
I think
I'll
putting
take
in a
it.
goof request.
Did you want Goofy Movie 1 or Goofy Movie 2? Like leaning
Hey,
towards
extremely
Pizza
goofy
or...
movie.
Gotta be
Extremely
2.
goofy movie's my shit. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It was, that's
So,
what he wanted.
John, I can tell you
Bradley
that neither of
Uppercrust.
these two matches coming up are goofy. So, well,
Where is my ha-has, my goofs,
Your
Well,
guffaws?
part-
my gabagool, damn
That
it?
was part one. That was
Okay,
part one.
so-
You need Capicola? What?
so there's no like blatant ha-has, but I think you will laugh at one of the things that's
Ah!
Y'all
anyway.
don't think Mike's funny? Damn.
All right.
Yeah, no, Kenny
Everybody-
hates my jokes.
Hey,
Anyway.
you know what?
Yeah, let him have it. Let's get the shit
I
out
didn't
of
give
it.
us up a laugh track.
So the week before Freaky Friday, TCW General Manager David Arquette comes to the ring and he announces that there will be a fatal four-way at the pay-per-view to determine the new number one contender for the Women's Championship to face either Timeless Tony Storm or the House of Cards at TCW Presents Survivor Parish, which is the next pay-per-view. Both Tony and the House of Black have been so dominant in TCW over the last year that he's forced to look outside of TCW to find new competition. So he searched the world over, and he's not only opening the forbidden door, he's kicking it down. So the first person in the match is the current primetime championship women's champion, AJ Lee, who makes her way into the ring. For the second spot is the current and the most dominant women's champion in Black-owned alliance history, Nikki Blackheart, who then comes out and makes her way into the ring. And for the third spot, I made my way to Progressive Age Wrestling Guild, and joining this women's invitational is their champion, Tekla. Now for the fourth spot. Sarah Del Rey's music hits, cutting Arquette off to a chorus of boos. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is not happening. Not on my watch. You bring in these second-rate champions from companies no one ever cared about, and honestly, I thought all these companies went belly up years ago. But you don't make a spot for the heart and soul of the TCW roster? Me? Sarah Del Rey. Plus, you and all these people know that I got screwed by Toni Storm when she played you and all these people for a fool, and she dressed up as a luchador. So you owe me.
Also, we know that Sarah Del Rey is sicker than Toni Storm.
So go ahead and name the fourth woman in the match and get it over with. Because it's me. It has to be me. No. What I was going to say is the fourth woman in the match will be a member of the TCW roster. But I won't be the one to decide who it is. You know who it will be? Them, the Toxic Verse. No. Yes, says Arquette back to Sarah. Now, if you can stop interrupting me, damn it. Which of these women will the TCW Toxic Verse choose to join the Fatal 4-Way at Freaky Friday? Will it be Raka Khan? And the fans cheer. Mia Yim. The fans cheer again. Sarah Del Rey. Boo. All the fans cheer as Sarah yells into the crowd for them to show up or to shut up. Or will it be this woman who you know very, very well, Mercedes Moné? Mercedes was put on the shelf on the debut of season 3 when Sarah used a baseball bat to shatter her ankle. Monet comes out and runs towards the ring while Sarah tries to escape, but Monet cuts her off. So she slides back into the ring, but runs right into Blackheart, and she looks up, apologizes, and then turns around into a code breaker from Monet that gets hit with a go to sleep by AJ Lee, then a spear from Tekla, and then gets picked up and put in the torture rack by Nikki. And Nikki, as she's tapping, and then Nikki drops her on the side. The four women in the ring get into each other's faces as security comes out, and they separate the four women to end the segment. So before the match, we see a video package for each woman in the match to give the fans who haven't watched the other products a lesson on the other talents. So starts with it starts with Pogs Tekla. The toxic spider Tekla, with surprising speed, power, flexibility, and cunning, Tekla has amassed an impressive resume of victims, including legends like Angelina Love, ODB, Aja Kong, and up-and-comers like Kendall Gray. Anyone who has had the misfortune of falling into the toxic spider's web has been eaten alive as she reigns supreme in PAWG. Nikki, and then while this is all happening, it's playing like highlights and clips of the woman they're talking about. Next, it goes to Nikki. Nikki Blackheart may have less experience than her counterparts, but she has made a name for herself through sheer power. A former power lifter, Nikki has used her strength to will her way to the top of Black-owned Alliance and capture their women's championship less than 2 years in her professional career. Her popularity in BOA has proven so far that she is both the irresistible force and the immovable object. And then last but not least of the video package, AJ Lee, a legend and the reigning PTC Women's Champion, is the story of unpredictability. One moment, AJ is smiling, skipping to the ring, and then the next, she's forcing her opponents to tap to her ever-dangerous Black Widow submission or making them go to sleep. This legend is as deadly as she is crazy. An unpredictable dynamo, AJ Lee is chaos personified. Tonight, these three women will enter a TCW ring for the first time, joined by either the powerful Raka Khan, the feisty Mia Yim, the technical savant Sarah Del Rey, or returning CEO Mercedes Monet. Okay, so Nikki, Tekla, and AJ make their way out to the ring, get their own individual entrances, and then they wait to see who the fourth person is. And with 63% of the vote, we hear CEO, CEO, CEO as it reverberates through the arena, and Mercedes makes her way to the ring. So the match starts with all four women circling the ring, trying to size each other up. Tekla, AJ, and Mercedes realize that they need to take advantage of the biggest woman in the match, and they work together to back Nikki into the corner, landing punches, and at the same time, as she's like cowering, covering up, but then she explodes out of the corner and sends all of them flying, and then flexes. Tekla chop blocks Blackheart, then hits a spike DDT. AJ and Mercedes brawl on the outside as AJ sends Mercedes back first into the steel steps. Tekla goes for the curb stomp on Nikki, but she moves out of the way. Then grabs Tekla by the throat and gorilla presses her into a power slam. She goes for the pin, but AJ breaks it up and hits a basement drop kick to the face of Blackheart. Mercedes is back to her feet, and in the ring, it hits a top rope Meteora, taking out AJ, then hits a satellite DDT on Blackheart, who then rolls out of the ring. Mercedes turns around into a thrust kick from Tekla, who goes for the pin, but Monet kicks out. Tekla hits a snap suplex with a running senton on AJ Lee. She goes for to lock in the lockjaw submission, but AJ bites her hand, forcing her to let it go. AJ then hits a spinning heel kick, followed by a pin attempt. Tekla kicks out. AJ makes it back to her feet and is on the apron. AJ hits a drop kick, forcing her off the apron. She then climbs to the top for a flying crossbody, but gets caught by Nikki, who rams her back first into the ring post. Nikki grabs Mercedes and hits a double underhook powerbomb. 1, 2, Mercedes kicks out. She then lifts her up and hits a stalled vertical suplex into a jackhammer. AJ and Tekla break up the pin. AJ and Tekla work together to chop the big woman down with kicks to the leg. Then when she's down to one knee, she hits a shiny. AJ and Tekla are working together to chop down Nikki. And then when she's down to one knee, they hit Shining Wizards at the same time from opposite sides, sending her crashing to the mat. Tekla goes for the cover, but then AJ pulls her off, and she goes for the cover, and Tekla pulls her off, and the two get into each other's face. Tekla pushes AJ, and AJ pushes her back, and the two start to brawl until Mercedes comes flying off the top rope and lays them both out with a flying crossbody. Mercedes hits a tombstone lung blower on Tekla and goes for the pin, but she kicks out. She then hits the Three Amigos and goes for the pin. 1, 2, but then Blackheart breaks up the pin with a diving elbow drop. She then deadlifts Mercedes off the ground, who, like you can see, she's terrified. She's getting picked up. And Blackheart hits a deadlift sit-out powerbomb. 1, 2, but AJ manages to break up the pin right at the last second. AJ hits a Luther's press on Nikki and lands lefts and rights, and then locks in the Black Widow. Blackheart drops to one knee and is close to tapping when Mercedes hits a backstabber on AJ, breaking up the submission. She then grabs AJ and hits the Moneymaker. 1, 2. But then someone pulls the referee out of the ring. It's Tekla, who also introduces a steel chair into the mix, hitting Mercedes with it in the back. Then AJ. She then lines up and hits a spear on AJ. 1, 2, but Nikki breaks up the pin. Irish whips Tekla and hits a one-arm spine buster onto the chair. As this happens, AJ comes in and hits a flying crossbody to Blackheart, then hits a curb stomp. Before she can go for the pin, though, Mercedes comes in, grabs her, and hits the Monet Maker. 1, 2, 3. The winner and new number one contender is Mercedes Monet. Finn for that one. This is where you guys talk. I don't know if you guys know that.
I was gonna say, don't everybody go at once.
My
I'm still coming up with my number.
This has nothing to do with my number necessarily. So this was for the number one contender,
Yes.
and
To
we
the
had
House
the
of
women's
Cards?
championship earlier.
Yes, it was the opener.
What was behind your decision to put them in those places?
Because the two spots you want to be are either the main event or the opening match.
Okay.
I don't know.
I
Let
don't
her go from
disagree.
here.
I don't disagree with them.
You don't disagree with who, Mike or Damone?
With Damone.
I don't know why I'd want the. Is this wasn't your main event, was it?
No, this is not the main
No.
event.
The next one's man.
This
This
is
is the
the-
second to last match. This
This
is
is
the
the second to
cool-down
last match. Right.
I-
This is the second to last match.
All right. Someone else talk. I'm done.
All right. I didn't have an issue with that part, anything like that. But in my opinion, I thought it was kind of underwhelming
Okay.
I don't know. I was just expecting more. I don't know. Yeah, like it just when it ended, I don't know why I was thinking that was the end of the story. Like
No.
not the match. It just I don't know. It just felt underwhelming. I was like, oh, that's okay. So I'm gonna go with a 2.75. Like I said, it wasn't necessarily bad or anything like that, but it just felt very underwhelming. It was just like, oh, for some reason, I don't know. I was just expecting way more than what we got.
Yeah, it's more of a bridge, if that makes sense.
What'd you
No, I get what you're saying. 2.75. It wasn't like egregiously bad or anything like that. It was just underwhelming. I was just like, oh, okay.
That's where I'm at. I think this was definitely worse than the last one, but not like he's saying, it wasn't egregious. You know what I mean? I wasn't offended by this. I'm gonna go, because I do think it was worse than the last one. I'm gonna give you a 2.25.
Okay.
I'll go next. I could see what Mike's talking about, and I see where Damone's coming from, and I didn't even think about that until he brought it up. Which I don't really think I'm going to have it affect the number at all, but I agree. It's kind of like underwhelming, and like I agree with Kenny too, where it was like it came to the end and it was like, oh, that's it. Because it really just, I don't know. I felt like that was very quick too.
The match or the build? Like the build was definitely quick.
The whole thing.
The match would have theoretically been about 10 minutes. I did 10.
Yeah.
It's more than 10 spots because some spots have more than one spot in them. But it would have been about 10 minutes long.
I will say the thing that I did really like from this was you like doing like a video package to pull people from like different companies from Book It Verse. I thought that was really cool. I'm honestly just like smack dab in the middle with this and just going 2.5.
Okay, I'll take it.
And I thought that this was like all around like mid, inoffensive. I feel like I missed that Damone risk taking with this. Felt like this was.
When you're done, I'll say something. Go ahead.
Okay, I just feel like it was a match that was just there to be a match, if that makes sense, which isn't harmful, but it isn't beneficial in and of itself. So I'm just gonna give this a straight 3 again.
Okay, I'll take it.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Because like this isn't affecting your number, obviously, but is there a reason why you didn't just do this as part of your build for your next show?
Because I wanted to, well, to be honest, I put it on the survey. When I'm going to be honest, I changed some of the women.
People voted for it to be
Mercedes.
Contender.
Yes. Well, no, they voted for Mercedes. I did the number 1 contendership because I knew that Toni Storm was leaving no matter what, because I had already traded her to Kenny. So I knew she was leaving, she was losing. So I was trying to build a new contender and like getting the idea of Mercedes coming back after being out. And this is leading to future stuff.
I think it would have been.
I just feel like it could have been the build.
Probably.
This could have been. This could have been a weekly show match. That would have. Yeah,
and I think it would have went great in there.
That's fair.
I think that's probably what it was.
I think it's just fine, Damone. Don't let them bully you.
You gave it.
They got it. They got what they got.
Travis gave the lowest score, and he's telling us not to bully. That's crazy.
Well, I gave my score and I moved on. Y'all are beating the dead.
I was still coming to my point.
What?
I was still trying to come to my point that it was mid, so 2.5.
Okay. It took the longest road to get there.
I mean, I could have taken longer.
You could have. So this is
midway.
Oh, so by the way, I originally had Nikki Blackheart win the title. Like I originally had her winning, or not the title, winning the match. So it would have been her versus one of the members of the House of Black. But not House of Black, House of Cards, the House of Cards. But then
you on your own shit.
He's invested. He's invested.
Yeah, I'm paying attention.
Paying attention. It was a test. He passed it. Good job, Kenny. The rest of you, you get Fs right on the chalkboard 100 times.
I was gonna let you talk. Shut the.
But
Wait,
yeah,
John,
I originally had.
he scored? I don't think John scored.
He did not.
I gave him a 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I scored it.
Yeah, I originally had Nikki winning, and it wasn't even a matter of like I don't want the title outside of my company. I don't really care about that. You'll see in the future. But I want to build a story of Mercedes Moné, the House of Cards, and Sarah Del Rey, and to do that, it made more sense for Mercedes to win the title, or not the title, to win the match to become number 1 contender.
I'm
But I get what you guys
collector, and now she's doing it and book it too. It was crazy.
At least it's a world title. And the titles weren't on the line.
On mine too.
So this is for the main event. So I will tell you. So earlier when I did the promo, the tag team promo, when the brand came out, talked their shit. That's week 1 of this build. So to week 2, Heyman Page comes out to the ring and gets a mic. Wardlow, get your big ass out here right now. First, you and your goons take out Jimmy. Then you put Terry into the hospital. Get your overgrown ass out here now. Power by Kanye plays, but instead of Wardlow, it's Pat McAfee. Hey, Hangman, who the hell do you think you are? You come out here, you demand your TCW World Champion come out here and do what? Fight you? I don't think so. If you want to step into this ring with Wardlow and ever get a chance to become a world champion again, you are going to have to earn it. But I have good news for you. You will get that chance next week. I've been talking to David, and next week there is going to be a gauntlet match to determine the number 1 contender for the TCW World title at Freaky Friday. And guess what? You're in it. But with good news comes bad news. So if you want to get your hands on Wardlow anytime soon, you are going to have to run the gauntlet from start to finish. Otherwise, kiss your chance at avenging your friends goodbye. So Hangman has to he's starting at number 1 in the gauntlet. So the following week, the following week in the main event of Sin, the gauntlet match takes place. Hangman comes out first, followed by Mr. Kennedy. It's a back and forth affair. Mr. Kennedy goes for the Green Bay plunge, but Hangman is able to move out of the way at the last second, hop onto the apron, and he hits the buckshot lariat to advance. Next up is Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Ricky lets Hangman catch his breath, and the two men lock up because Ricky wants to win the right way. Ricky is able to use his technical abilities to almost eliminate Hangman on several occasions. Ricky counters a Deadeye attempt into a roll-up for a super close 2 count. Hangman then rolls him up into a small package. 1, 2, 3. Ricky is eliminated. The two shake hands as Ricky appreciates and understands that Hangman was just the better man tonight. Out next is the Last Emperor, Kota Ibushi, accompanied by his manager, Antonio Inoki, as he and Ricky, as long-term rivals, make contact on the ramp, looking at each other. Then Kota scoffs at him and laughs mockingly at Ricky as he makes his way to the ring. Kota, unlike Ricky, immediately attacks Hangman, lighting up his chest with chops, which causes his chest to start to bleed. Kota has the advantage pretty much the whole time, with any hope spot from Hangman immediately snuffed out. About 10 minutes into this portion of the gauntlet, Coda hits the golden bomb. 1, 2, and to the shock of everyone, Hangman kicks out, becoming the first man to ever kick out of the golden bomb in TCW. Coda starts yelling at the referee in Japanese, insisting that it was a 3 count. Meanwhile, Hangman makes his way to his feet, and then Coda turns around and he gets hit with a super kick, followed by the Deadeye. 1, 2, 3. Hangman is still alive in the gauntlet. Out next is the bounty hunter Brian Keith, who doesn't wait for the bell, runs down the ramp and attacks Hangman immediately. He starts beating on Hangman with hard elbows to the skull, and then proceeds to Irish whip him into the corner and hit a running knee, dropping Page, but he's able to kick out of a pen attempt. Brian goes for the Emerald Tiger Driver, but Hangman manages to fight out of it and hit a DDT. He then rolls out of the ring and he goes up and he hits the buckshot lariat. 1, 2, 3. So now it's down to Hangman and one final entrant, which is revealed to be Pat McAfee himself. As Pat makes his way to the entrance, as Hangman is telling him to come on, Page gets attacked from behind and low blowed by Keith. Keith then rolls out of the ring and grabs a chair, slides it into the ring, and clacks Page with it when he stands up. Page is now busted open, wearing the crimson mask. Keith then hits the Emerald Tiger Driver as Pat watches for him right outside the ring, clapping. Keith gets out the ring and into Pat's face. Pat then smiles and hands him a stack of money. Pat slides into the ring and tells the referee to ring the bell. Pat mocks Hangman and then puts his boot on his chest. Vampiro on commentary says, "Damn it, not like this." 1, 2, Hangman kicks out. Pat is beside himself that Hangman is still in this. Pat then signals he's going to end it with a punt kick, but Hangman catches his foot and then stands up and hits a spinning heel kick. He then staggers to the apron and hits the buckshot lariat, but this time he says that's not all. He then locks in the spinning toe hold, honoring Terry Funk, and Pat McAfee taps out. The winner of the match is the new TCW #1 contender, Hangman Adam Page. The ring is smeared with his blood, but he's won, and he will now face Wardlow for the title at Freaky Friday. So the next week, the show starts off with Hangman sitting in the chair backwards with a spotlight on him. March 24th, 2008. That's when I made my pro wrestling debut. But a year before that, I showed up at the Funking Conservatory in Ocala, Florida, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, ready to learn from one of my idols, the hardcore legend, Terry Funk. And when I got in the ring with him for the first time, I expected him to go light on me because, I'm new. I've never done this before. But I was wrong. I couldn't have been more wrong. Terry beat the living hell out of me. Left me black and blue, and I didn't walk out of the ring the same way I went in. I limped out of the ring. I was lucky. In the moment, I was hurt, and I was a little pissed at Terry, but I also understood why he did it. He needed to know that I really wanted to be a professional wrestler, and that this sport isn't like the video games or playing around on the trampoline with your friends. You have to be willing to give everything you've got every night, every day to this industry, to professional wrestling. The next day, after another beating, Terry took me to dinner and he told me something I still believe in today. The thing we do is the most pure sport in the world. We walk into this square circle, we beat the hell out of each other, and one person walks out victoriously. If you're good enough, and if you're lucky enough, you'll walk out the winner more times than not, but no one walks out of this industry undefeated. So at some point, every one of us, we look up at those lights. That's why, since the moment... let's say spot. That's why since the moment I laid eyes on professional wrestling, I knew I needed to be a professional wrestler. So I gladly took those beatings in my training and the beatings I've endured in my career. And I wouldn't change a damn thing because they have made me the man I am today. Terry Funk has been a mentor to me ever since that day I walked into the conservatory, and I love that man like he's my own father. Then there's my tag team partner, one half of cowboy shit, Jimmy Wang Yang. There was a point in my career where I wasn't having fun anymore, and the day in and day out grind was taking its toll on me mentally and physically. But then Jimmy came into my life and brought back that fun that I had earlier in my career. I love that man like he's my own brother. And I know guys say that all the time. They come out here and say, this guy's my brother, this guy's family, but they don't really mean it. But I do. How Jimmy and his wife are one of our godparents to my daughters. Because guys like us, like Terry, like Jimmy, love this business. And we give up time with our friends, time with our families to compete night in and night out. And I know for a fact, neither of them would change a damn thing in their careers either. But then you have guys like the Brand. To them, professional wrestling isn't about competition. It's all about money and power. This isn't about love of this sport. The love of the sport of professional wrestling for them. They see this as a piggy bank that they can take money out from day after day, week after week, year after year, until they bleed this company dry and move on to the next one. You talk about fixing TCW, fixing professional wrestling. You don't give a damn about professional wrestling, and you don't give a damn about TCW. You want to make it a cookie-cutter, family-friendly corporate entertainment so you can get your guaranteed paychecks and then go home. But TCW isn't just about death matches or violence or being edgy. This isn't just another company, just another federation. TCW is a revolution, a movement, a rejection of the print-by-numbers wrestling you see every day on your TV screens. We are the spiritual descendants of the bingo halls in Philadelphia, filled with fans chanting ECW. So having to watch Wardlow parade around this company holding this world title pisses me off. So when I show up at Freaky Friday and I win the TCW World Heavyweight Championship, I want you, Wardlow, and I want the rest of the brand to know it's not just for me. It's for the Tazes of the world, the Tommy Dreamers, the Sandmans, the Eddie Guerreros, the RVDs, the Jerry Lynns, the Terry Funks, and every one of those people in this arena and around the world who bleed for TCW. At Freaky Friday, Wardlow, I hope you're willing to die for this, because I sure as hell am. And then he throws down the mic. Later that week, it's announced that the options for the main event stipulation are a Texas Death Match, Texas Bullrope, First Blood, and Ambulance. So the following week, Wardlow and Pat come out to the ring. Hangman. Last week was real cute and pathetic. You come out here and tell us all about a sob story about Terry Funk and training you, how you were going to save TCW from us. Newsflash, you're too late. We already have the tag team titles and the world titles, and there's nothing you or anyone in the back can do about it. You want to be the best professional wrestler? Go ahead. That's all you, bud. But Wardlow is the world champion, and that's all that matters in this business. We have the biggest prize in this industry, and all you have are broken best friends and a broken mentor. Speaking of Jimmy, is he able to stand up straight yet, or is he still hunched over after we broke his weak little back? Hangman's music hits, and he rushes to the ring with a bull rope around his neck, and he slides into the ring as Pat and Wardlow rush him, but he uses the rope to fight them off with hard hits with both the rope and the cowbell. He clotheslines Wardlow over the top rope, waits for Pat to stand up, and hits a buckshot lariat with the bull rope. Wardlow gets up and tries to get into the ring, but a swerve of security come out to separate the two. Wardlow then proceeds to throw security guards out of the way, and he and Hangman fight in the middle of the ring, throwing a ton of punches, elbows, everything at each other. Arquette empties the locker room to separate the two men. The show ends with the Brand going up the ramp, holding back Wardlow, as Hangman stands in the ring, and he and Wardlow yell insults to each other, yell insults at each other. So on the pre-show, it's announced that the stipulation chosen by the TCW fans is a Texas Bullrope Match. Hangman comes out first, wearing all white gear with a Funk You t-shirt underneath it. He then takes off the vest and then takes off the t-shirt and then throws it into the crowd. Out next is the champion Wardlow wearing a black singlet with green accents, and he gets into the ring. The ring announcer says, "Ladies and gentlemen, this match is for the TCW World Heavyweight Championship, and it is a Texas Bullrope Match. The only way to win is to beat your opponent to the point that you are able to touch all four corners in quick succession. In this corner, the challenger from Halifax County, Virginia, standing 6 foot 1 inches tall, weighing 229 pounds, Hangman Adam Page," as Hangman puts his arm up. "And in this corner, the champion hailing from Cleveland, Ohio, standing 6'3", weighing in at 266 pounds, the reigning, defending TCW World Heavyweight Champion, representing the Brand, Wardlow," as he holds the title over his head. The ref takes the bull rope and he puts it, he wraps it around each guy's arm, tying them to each other, and then he rings the bell. The second the bell rings, Hangman immediately goes after Wardlow, backing him into the corner with hard punches. He gets on the middle rope and he lands 10 close fist punches as the crowd counts with him. Hangman takes the rope and he wraps it around his arm and hits a corner elbow splash. Hangman touches one of the turnbuckles, but then Wardlow uses the rope to pull Hangman in, and he hits a one-arm spine buster. He then mounts Hangman and lands elbows and kicks him in the gut as he gets up. Wardlow hits an overhead vertical suplex toss that sends Hangman to the other side of the ring. Excuse me. Wardlow hits two of the turnbuckles, but then Hangman falls out of the ring to stop him from getting out or getting to the third turnbuckle. Wardlow gets a running start and shoulder blocks Hangman into the timekeeper's area, then flexes and plays to the crowd. When he turns around, Hangman cracks him with the ring bell. He then hits a diving lariat off the barricade. Hangman grabs a steel chair and starts whacking Wardlow in the back, breaking the chair. He hits a bunch of times to the point it breaks the chair. He then slides into the ring and then loops around to the other side so that they're on opposite sides with the ropes in the ring. And then he pulls Wardlow in, causing him to go shoulder first into the ring post. Hangman goes for a slingshot senton to the outside, but Wardlow catches him and power bombs him onto the floor. Wardlow then takes the cowbell and waits for Hangman to get up and lays him out with a shot to the head. Hangman is now bleeding. Wardlow puts Hangman in the ring where he puts him belly first to his head is sticking out, and he hits a running big boot. Wardlow hits a spinning gorilla press that sends Hangman flying. He starts to touch the turnbuckles, but Hangman manages to stop his momentum by hanging onto the ropes. Wardlow goes after him, but Page manages to kick him in the gut, followed by a front kick, then a flying heel kick, taking the big man down. Hangman grabs the cowbell and waits for Wardlow to stand up, and he blasts him in the face with it then hits it over the head with it 5 times. The camera pans in, and we see Wardlow is now busted open as well. Hangman then takes the rope and puts it around Wardlow's throat, and then puts his knee into Wardlow's back as he's sitting up, and he starts choking him with the rope. Hangman rolls to the outside and grabs a table and slides it into the ring and sets it up in the corner, like at an angle. But then as he turns around, because he gave Wardlow too much time, Wardlow spears him through the table he just set up. Both men are slow, making their way up to their feet. They run at each other and take each other out with a double clothesline. They end up back outside the ring. Wardlow sends Hangman into the barricade and then goes for the big boot. But Page manages to duck, and he ends up straddling the barricade. Page drop kicks Wardlow into the crowd. The two men fight into the crowd. They're on the steps throwing haymakers, and Wardlow is on the higher step, and he headbutts Page, who then starts to fall, but Wardlow realizes that if he falls, I'm going to fall too. So he grabs him by the hand and keeps him from falling so that they both won't fall down the stairs. They end up back at ringside. Wardlow tries to Irish whip Page into the steps, but Page reverses it, sending Wardlow back first into it. Page then hits a V trigger into the steps. Hangman manages to get Wardlow into the ring and starts to touch the turnbuckles. Hangman touches 1, then 2, then the 3rd, but Wardlow wraps his legs around the ring post and it stops Hangman from being able to get to the 4th one. Hangman goes after him, breaking the momentum in the count. Wardlow kicks him, manages to get up and kick him in the gut, and then hits a discus lariat. Wardlow signals for the powerbomb to end it, but Hangman counters it into a Deadeye, which is a reverse tombstone pile driver, and then he collapses. A little bit goes by. Hangman makes it to his feet. He hops over. He manages to get himself over the top rope, and he goes for the buckshot. And he hits it, but Wardlow hulks up and he eats the buckshot, gut kicks Page, and then hits a power bomb. He then hits 3 of the turnbuckles and almost to the 4th when Page hits him from behind with the cowbell, breaking the count. Hangman rolls under the ring and grabs something. He raises it up, and it's Terry Funk's branding iron. He then takes a lighter from under the ring as well, rolls back into the ring, and he lights the branding iron on fire. And he's sizing up Wardlow to hit him with it in the face, but then Pat McAfee comes out from the back and slides into the ring, and he gets in between him, and he's begging Hangman not to do it. Hangman turns his attention to Pat, and he's going to hit him with it when Wardlow explodes out of nowhere with a Superman punch, causing Hangman to drop the iron. And the ring crew put out the fire. Both men are bleeding profusely but Wardlow is up and is about to try and hit the turnbuckles, but sees Page is struggling to get up. He looks at Page, who makes it to his knees, bloodied. Wardlow says, "Stay down." Page gives him the double bird salute. Wardlow then kicks him in the face and hits 5 back-to-back power bombs. He then takes the rope and he wraps it around Hangman's neck, and he throws him over the top rope where he's hanging, and then he proceeds while he's hanging to drag him around the ring and touches all 4 corner posts to win the match and retain the TCW World Heavyweight Championship to close out TCW Freaky Friday.
I got a quick question about the one spot.
Yes.
When Hangman went underneath the ring, was Wardlow outside of the ring?
Which part? With the
when he rolled under to get the branding iron.
They Wardlow was close enough to where he could get under the ring. Okay. He's not super far across from him. He's pretty much.
I was just confused because I was if the rope was short enough for him to not be able to reach that corner post. I was confused on how he got all the way underneath the ring.
No, they're super. Okay. They're pretty much both super close to the apron.
Okay, all right, I can go. I thought you're. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, can you give me the finish one more time before anybody scores, so that way I have time to think about it.
Yeah. So Pat, he's gonna burn him with the branding iron. Terry's branding iron. McAfee gets in the ring, stops him. He's gonna hit Pat with it. Wardlow takes him out, or clothesline, or Superman punches him, makes him drop the iron. Wardlow then, So then Hangman is like barely like alive still. He sits up. Wardlow tells him to stay down. Hangman gives him the double birds. Wardlow kicks him in the face, power bombs him 5 times, takes the rope, puts it around his neck, hangs him over the edge of the ring, and then proceeds to walk around with him hanging around and hit all 4 corners.
I had no problem with this. I'll just let you know. Give him a 5.
Thank you.
I'm right there with you. I also said 5.
Thank you.
So I thought the promo work was great. I
Thank you.
kind of wish Hangman would have won, but I'm not gonna do any difference to score on that. I like that you had Wardlow wrapped up in the corner, so that like Hangman, almost won, but just couldn't reach the last one. So I thought that was cool. Yeah, I'm going. I'm not gonna quite give it a 5, but I'm gonna go 4.5.
I'll take it.
I'm gonna go 4.75.
Okay.
I too think Hangman should have won, but otherwise, perfect match.
Okay, take it.
I agree that Hangman should have won, but I do want to make mention. I didn't dock you for this, but
Yes.
I'll make mention. You stole my shit bar for bar.
What shit?
At KOC No Remorse, and I quote, "The next week, Jon Moxley opens the show sitting backwards on a steel chair in the center of the ring, lights turned down with a single spotlight shining on him.
I'm not gonna lie, I forgot you did that because you have 85 things on your show. I was thinking more so of Eddie Guerrero holding that was more of the inspiration for it, of Eddie Guerrero holding the mask, yelling at it.
Also, we know Damone wrote this before you wrote yours.
No, he didn't. He wrote this today.
He wrote
it during the show. That's what I wrote.
That part I wrote. No,
that's why we heard typing earlier. He was typing as he was speaking.
No, I was not. I'm not that bad. I'm not
I gotta get this made event.
So no, I just heard you say he was sitting backwards on a chair in the center of the ring with a spotlight on him. I was like, didn't I just do that?
I did.
I went back to my doc real quick and searched spotlight.
I didn't even think about you having done that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. All of Travis's stuff went in one ear, out the other right after.
Wow.
Y'all are saying that as if he's not winning the whole thing.
Rude as fuck.
Yeah, but you didn't say everybody's booking verse goes out. You said, yeah, I'll be honest. Travis's stuff, everything went in one ear and out the other.
I'm talking.
Which is crazy to say to the guy who's
everybody's
winning.
Does, but
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Everybody got shit to say. But the scoreboard talks
if y'all
different.
hate Travis's book verse, then why y'all keep handing him these dubs?
Because he has a
goddamn goat.
We've already gone over this.
It's
because he has a bunch of things, and
to be fair,
they're even each other out.
To be fair, I'm the one giving him the title. Because I'm the one grading him so well. Because he's writing shit I like.
I'm gonna give you a 4.75.
That's what I'd be doing for Damone. I gave Damone a 4 on this show.
I'm gonna give you a 4.75. I agree that Hangman should have won, but it's not that egregious. I understand that you're doing like a big bad faction. So,
you know what the funniest thing? You guys all say that, and originally this story was gonna end with Hangman winning the title. It's not anymore because you guys prefer,
for obvious reasons,
Terry Funk.
Oh, fair enough. That is true. Maybe we just don't like the brand.
I think that's it, which is kind of the point.
You're giving us Death Riders 2.0. We just want anybody to take the goddamn title off of them.
Or you like my baby faces more.
No, I like it better that you have bad heels. I'd rather do that than
you like you just like cowboy shit.
The D Money Riders is crazy.
That's disgusting.
Is
anybody else got a grade?
No, you're the last one.
Nope.
Okay.
You can make me not big anymore.
I'm getting there.
Well, that does it for TCW Freaky Friday. Before we get out your hair, let's see where we could find these weird individuals.
How'd you get more country like in the last like hour and 20 minutes? Your accent went crazy.
Yeah. Mike, can we find you anywhere?
No.
Michael.
It's JBL.
What about you, D Money?
On all this shit at D Money Book It. So D Money spelled out, book it on everything.
Bad guy, tell him about shows.
Catch me on social media is at Bad Guy Spoken. Catch the Bad Guy Spoken podcast on YouTube's, and you can also catch Hood Movie Review all your favorite and not so favorite hood movies.
Travis, what about you?
You can follow me at I am Travy T on all social media. That's at IAMTRAVVYT on TikTok, Instagram. What else is there? Twitter. You know the ones. If it's there, I'm there, and that's where I'm at.
And Joe, can we find you anywhere?
If you're here, you found me.
Profound.
We can also find you, at least for now, on Friday Night Wars.
That is true.
What is
Also,
Friday Night Wars?
Pornhub.
Where can I find it?
On
Twitch.
and YouTube.
Over on the
All of them.
Twitch.
And also find Teeing Off with Travy T and the Bad Guy. As of right now, releasing bi-weekly.
There we go.
Yeah.
Now we're getting some content farming in. And lastly, if you want to find some t-shirts, other memorabilia of all your favorite shows and or performers in T13 Media, go to T1, spelled the word 3, media.com, and go pick you up some merchandise or some information about getting merchandise eventually. And with that said, that's been an episode of Book It. See ya.
Oh, do your bye.
Bye.